Recently, I talked to a client who had a problem that he was scrolling on YouTube for 6 hours per day, and because of that, he was stuck in life. If you are somebody who scrolls a lot on your social media and you want to change that, this video is for you. Hi, I have a PhD in neuroscience, and on the channel Neuroproductivity, we talk about developing healthy habits and achieving our goals using principles of neuroscience. In today's video, I want to talk about a common problem that a lot of people have nowadays. That is, why do we scroll on social media so much, especially when we need to work, and how to solve this problem. I started this video by talking about a client who was stuck in his life because he was scrolling so much on YouTube. At that moment, he was a general doctor, so he finished medicine and he was working as a generalist, but he was studying to become a specialist. So he had to take medical exams to become a specialist. However, instead of studying for exams, he would be scrolling on YouTube so much, even up to 6 hours per day. And he was super unhappy because he was not able to study for his exams. I will first explain why scrolling is so addictive so you can understand better yourself and what's happening in our brains that keeps us scrolling over and over again. When we need to work on something important, for example, we need to study for exams or work on our project, oftentimes we would get stressed, nervous, anxious. So we would have a lot of negative emotions going on in our brain. Scrolling, especially short-term content, would give us dopamine boost. Dopamine is a happiness hormone that is released in the brain that makes us feel happy. So whenever we need to work on something important, if we get stressed, our brain will try to reduce this stress by releasing dopamine. And the brain knows that social media, especially short-term content, will give us dopamine boost. Why do I say especially short-term content? Because this content is light, we can watch it without thinking too much or without thinking at all. And there is also the novelty aspect, because you keep scrolling and you keep seeing new videos. And those things, light content and novelty, will even further increase our dopamine. And that is why the brain wants you to get to your social media and start scrolling. And this was happening to my client. He was scrolling every time when he needed to study. Here is a simple trick that I suggested him to do in order to stop scrolling on social media. I told him to take a piece of paper and to split it in two. He had a column on the left and he had a column on the right. On the column on the left, he was supposed to write how is his life going to look like in 5 years if he doesn't change this habit of scrolling on YouTube. In his case, he would stay a general doctor. There's nothing wrong with being a generalist, but he didn't like that job and he found it a little bit repetitive and boring. He really wanted to become a specialist. Secondly, he was not happy with the salary. He wanted to earn more money. And also he wanted to make his family proud by becoming a specialist. So this is something he had to write on the left. On the right, I told him what could his life look like in 5 years if he changes this negative habit of scrolling on YouTube. What could happen then? So first of all, he would be able to study for his exams. So he would be able to become a specialist. Once a specialist, he would have a more interesting job, something that he likes more. Also, the salary would be better, so he could be able to provide for his family, to make his family proud by becoming a specialist. And also, he shared with me one dream that he has is once he has more money, he would like to open a charity clinics to provide healthcare for poor people in his area who couldn't afford it. So you can see the difference is pretty big. On the left, he has a job that he doesn't like, a future where he's not paid well, he was working a job that he finds boring, he didn't make his family proud. On the right, he has a life where he's happy, he's earning more money, and he even manages to open a charity clinic. You can use this as well for yourself, for a negative habit that you want to get rid of. On the left, write down the scenario, what would your life look like in 5-10 years if you continue this negative habit, while on the right, you write down what's going to happen if you change and eradicate that bad habit. Once my client wrote this on the paper, I told him to put that paper next to his iPad because he was usually most of the time scrolling on his iPad. So I wanted him to have every time a reminder. Every time before grabbing the iPad, he could make a decision whether he would like to have the life on the left where nothing changes and he stays stuck in a situation that he doesn't like, or he wants to have the life on the right where he's happier, richer, and he opens the charity clinics. This trick can also use for developing positive habits. On the left, you can write what's going to happen if you don't start this habit, if you don't develop this positive habit. And on the right, what could happen if you do develop a positive habit. Let's say you want to start working out. If you don't do it, what's going to happen with you in 3 or 5 years? You're going to stay unfit, you might develop some diseases, you will be in bad mood and unhappy, and in the very, very long term, you will probably shorten your life. However, on the right, if you develop a habit of working out, you're going to feel better. You might lose weight and look better. Once you feel and look better, you might be able to attract a partner that you really want. Or if you're in a better mood, you can work more and you can make more money. Also, you might live longer and have a better quality of life once you're older. So maybe you will be mobile and you will be able to walk and not be stuck in a wheelchair. I really, really hope this exercise is going to help you. Make sure to put that paper where you write the 2 scenarios somewhere where you can see it, whether on your wall or next to your desk or next to your computer, so you have a constant reminder of how one simple habit, of whether a negative one or positive one, can completely change the track of your life, and you might end up in 2 completely different positions by just changing one habit. And the best way to change your habit and to have a better life is to work with a coach. You can work with me. I offer one-on-one coaching sessions. The first session is completely for free, and I had people change their lives, finish their studies, finish their exams, lose weight by just going to one simple free session. So I want you to click on the link in the description down below and schedule your free 20 minutes consultation. So to summarize this video, why do we keep scrolling on social media? Because social media gives us dopamine boost, then help us reduce the stress, especially the stress when we need to work hard. And in order to solve this problem, you want to write down on a piece of paper 2 scenarios. What is going to happen if you continue this negative habit, whether it's scrolling or something else? And on the right, what's going to happen if you change this habit? And I want you to put that reminder somewhere where you can see it, so you have a constant visual representation or how your life can really change by just changing one simple habit. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to my channel for more videos about neural productivity.